You mentioned intrusive thought in your special.
Yeah.
I've got a touch of that, and sometimes I have a little bit more than a touch of that. How does that manifest itself? Because that's obviously related to OCD.
I have it where, like, on airplanes, I'm worried that I'm going to freak out, open the door. I'm worried that I'm going to jump out of my 4th-story, walk up. And it started, I was a contractor, and it started.
Contractor like a hitman?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And, like.
It's very cool, by the way.
Thank you. And it would, with a nail gun.
Yeah.
I would be worried that I was going to do it to myself or jump off a roof. I had to quit roofing because I was worried I would jump off.
Wasn't Ian also a contractor?
Ian was
That's what he said.
laborer. He was a laborer. He was never a contractor.
He told me he was a contractor when he did my podcast.
Insane that he says that.
Do you ever stand on the ledge and look down and get tingly?
Now I can't do it. The other day I brought Coyote up to the roof and she started walking towards the edge and I tackled her like she was a football. It was crazy.
Because you'd think she wouldn't, but
I thought she wouldn't, but then she was walking towards it and it was the most. We'll never do.
I get that.
It was so scary.
I get that.
But yeah, I won't. Oh, it was such an awful feeling. And it had a slope, so I didn't even know she'd go up the slope.
My dog likes to hang out on the roof of my house on the edge.
Really?
Yeah, I live in a guest house, and he likes to go to the edge of it and put his chest out and be on.
How far is the drop?
It's far.
Far enough to end it?
Far enough to end it, yeah.
Right.
But he doesn't do it.
But he doesn't do it.
What's worse, falling off and like almost ending it or ending it?
Obviously ending it.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like if I hit the ground so hard that I'm like incapacitated for the rest of my life, I'd rather it just finish me.
What are your intrusive thoughts?
Perpetrating acts of violence on unsuspecting people who don't deserve them.
Yeah.
Whoa, I wasn't.
I've told you this a million times. Like, I just like, you know what it is?
What?
It's not, I get a little bit of
I have
what,
it all the time.
I get a little bit of what you have. Have you tried to make sense of it? Have you talked to a professional?
It's just my entire life. You just don't trust yourself. And the parents weren't around to like tell you how to behave.
Yeah. I think it's also, it's like you're so afraid of what would happen if you fell off that you almost have to start daring yourself to be like, well, what if I made myself do it on purpose? You know, it's not that you people hear it and they go, oh, you must secretly want to commit suicide.
No,
it's like, no, you're so afraid
No, I've had
that you're
intrusive thoughts.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
You know what? I don't know when it started even for me. As a kid, my family went to mass. I was like an altar boy and stuff like that. And it was like, we're all standing here acting like it's perfectly normal for this guy to be like, and then God said, blah, blah, blah. And we all just go along with it. I'm like, if somebody just got up and walked over to the priest and just punched him as hard as they could, like, what would happen?
Yeah.
Like, how would our town ever bounce
That
back
would be
from
so
that?
fun.
And so I find
I know,
myself,
right?
it just carries me into adulthood where I'm dropping my kids off at school and like a mom bends over to pick something up and I'm like, if I just soccer kicked her in the head, like,
Oh, that's different.
totally.
Oh, in the head.
just not thinking that I actually want her to
No,
die.
I was
or
just thinking
anything.
kick her in the booty and make her fall over. In the
No,
head.
nobody wants this to happen. That is why we have the fear. Yeah.
And you're
totally.
afraid that you might do it because it would be the wildest shit that ever happened because it was like so pointless because I don't want to do it. That's part of what makes it so crazy.
When I was 5, I went downstairs. I just needed like water or something. I remember leaving. I slept in my dad's room all the time, and I went down and I grabbed a knife. And I remember being like, "Oh, I could hurt myself with this," and I just fainted immediately. Yeah. That's like, and that's where it started. Yeah, I just was like, I could hurt myself. Yep. And I passed out. I mean, I passed out.
Do you faint a lot?
Yeah.
From these thoughts, or just you faint?
I can faint from the thoughts, but yeah, I faint from like blood or go. I fainted
yeah,
on a
I've
plane.
fainted before.
Do you faint? Are you a fainter?
I'm not a fainter.
I'll faint. I faint in movies.
I'm kind of fascinated.
What?
That's awesome.
Yeah, I faint. I'll get up from a movie and be like, "Fuck, here we go, bam."
I fainted
Wait, so
in the
you know it's
gynecologist.
coming?
Yeah, it feels like it's the worst feeling in the world. I fainted on a plane recently. Thought I peed my pants. I didn't. I just sweat through it.
Man, I got knocked out once and woke up in the hospital and I peed my pants.
Yeah,
And the nurse was wiping my balls with a wet towel.
Whoa.
that feels good.
It was
Is that
cool.
nice?
It was cool.
That sounds nice.
That's a
She
nice way to
wasn't-
wake up.
She wasn't that hard, but I didn't care at the time.
No.
I was like, hell yeah.
That's so sweet.
It was.
I fainted in the gynecologist's office getting STD.
Because they were checking your vag?
No, they were taking my blood for STD.
Oh, okay.
Clean.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thank you, God.